You want to smile for the camera? Do you want to smile for the camera? Oh, you're so good. Good girl. Hey everyone, this is Kiwi's July update, and I do believe today is July 25th. I'm going to be filming this in two parts because I don't have a lot of time right now. So I'm going to pick up at July 2nd. So I got back to California from all the traveling. For those of you that remember the June update, I was in Wyoming in that, and then I had to go through like 3 different stops in Colorado, Arizona somewhere, and then back to California. So just got back to California. June 2nd, I finally had a chiropractor come out. Finally found one that was able to come out, scheduled it way ahead of time. Super happy I had that appointment. So the other really cool thing is that this chiropractor is also a vet. So there was 3 big realizations at this appointment for Kiwi. 1, we got her adjusted. Super stiff, locked up everywhere. I've never had an adjustment before, like when I get Lynx adjusted or anything, where they're like, okay, give this horse a couple days off after. But after her adjustment, they were like, she's gonna be pretty sore. She got adjusted everywhere. She's super tight. Give her a couple days off, don't work her. I was like, well, that's good because she only does Liberty work anyways. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, that's perfect. After the adjustment, I was like, okay, perfect. There was nothing specific though with her neck. I don't know if I showed you guys in the last video, but when I presented her with an object, she would look at it on one direction, out of this eye, stop, you're done smiling, out of this eye right here, but out of this eye, like if I was directly in front of her and saying this way and this way, out of this eye, she wouldn't turn her head or look at all. So I was like, that's super odd, but she flexes pretty even both directions. So I was like, I don't know if it's the neck, if it's the pole, what's going on. So had all that looked at. She's like, yeah, pretty much everywhere she's stiff. She's out in her hip. She needed an adjustment in her neck, in her jaw. So pretty much all of the normal adjustments that they would get, but she was like kind of a bit extreme. She needed them. She was pretty good for her appointment. She did a decent job. Once she realized that it was helping her and it was making her feel better, she was great. She just stood perfectly still. Initially, she was a little bit like, I don't know if I want to be here right now. I should walk away. And I'm like, no, it's okay. But then she decided she really liked it when she realized it was helping her. After all of the adjustments, we found out she was super stiff and out of place everywhere. So that could explain a lot. And then we also found out that her muscles are like insanely tense. She's always in a state of like tension. I shouldn't say always because right now she's pretty darn relaxed, but if something sets her off, it's not like a normal horse where they come back down from it. She'll be tense for a very long time and her body will be shaking. Like she's very sensitive in that way. So she gave me a certain type of medication to put her on. I was kind of like on and off with it. I didn't necessarily fully give it the whole time. I only gave it to her a couple times. I didn't see a huge big change or difference. I figured there's no point in trying to do it with medication when I kind of want to just work through it with all the natural stuff and everything and all the relaxation methods. So I didn't worry too much about making sure she got that twice a day. And I'll show you guys a picture of what that is right now too. But I wasn't super stressed out about making sure she got that. It wasn't essential to healing or anything. It basically would just force her muscles to relax, and then over time the goal was to condition her into that relaxed state. But of course it wasn't a necessary drug that really helped with like healing anything in her, any inflammatory things. So the third realization was that she has a cataract in this eye. So Kiwi can only see out of her peripheral vision, yeah, you, Kiwi, here and here in this eye. So when things jump into her place here, so she still reacts because she can see like right here from my finger, she can blink. You can see she's blinking. She's not completely blind, but she's got a cataract. So it means either it's foggy, there's shadows, there's a section of her vision that's missing, which can kind of catch her off guard. So that was a big one. That was something really big. It's super cool that we had a vet as the chiro, but it was really interesting to learn that Kiwi has a cataract, and it explains quite a bit. Now, I don't know if this cataract was developed at some point when I had her, if she's had it. My guess was it developed at some point when I had her because, like you guys know, I was riding her, she was doing great, and then all of a sudden she got like extra spooky and nervous. So my theory was it developed at some point, or at least it got worse when I had her. Knowing that information, I was like, there's about a month and a half until the makeover, because remember, this was July 2nd. The makeover is August 11th to 14th. It's like, is it worth pushing this horse to be able to ride, to get to the makeover, to be bid on by anyone and go into a home where they don't know her story, they don't know how to deal with her, they don't know what's going on with her, and potentially get themselves hurt and get Kiwi hurt and get her into a bad situation. Just like, I don't know if it's worth the push, and how far along is she really going to be in a month and a half? Is competing and trying to win that important to me? Not really, not over the safety and Kiwi getting a really good home that I could potentially control by pulling her from the competition. So that's when things got tricky, and then I was like, well, she's really good at Liberty. I could show her in hand, but the only classes you can do when you're in hand are handling and conditioning, and you can do your trail class in hand. It doesn't get scored though. If you're in the adult competition, you have to be riding, but you're able to do it to showcase your Mustang. And a requirement of the Mustang makeovers is if you want your horse to run through the auction, they need to do at least 2 of the classes, which would be handling, conditioning, and trail if you're in hand. If you're riding, there's no reason not to do all 3 classes. So then I was like, well, yeah, then I could show her, I guess, but then it would still be the same thing. She would be going through the auction, and personally, I did youth for 3 years. I can do a tip challenge if I want to show in hand. If my horse isn't ready to ride, then I probably shouldn't be trying to auction them off there. I should be trying to privately find them a home and say like, hey, this is what's going on. I want to make sure I really get to know the owner before I rehome them. I don't necessarily want to show in hand at an extreme Mustang makeover in the adult division. I'd rather pull for the reason that the horse isn't able to be ridden and then find them a really good home. So as much as it really sucks because I've never necessarily pulled out of one before, I'm trying to have her interests in mind, and Kiwi doesn't care if she does a competition or not, I'll be honest. She really doesn't care. Now she does care if she's getting scratches and treats and loved on and she's being heard in what she's saying, so that does matter. She's not necessarily saying, I don't want to do a competition, because she doesn't know she's in one, obviously, but she's giving me all the signs to say like, hey, maybe we shouldn't really push right now really hard to try to ride. I'm not really ready for that. She was riding, which is the difficult thing, but then all of these problems came up, and now it's a little bit more clear of an explanation now that I know you can't fully see. Given that, she's doing really good with everything, so I'm super happy. So that is the first part of the news. That is everything that happened that first week of July. So back with the second part of this video. So after finding out she had cataracts, I had to make a really tricky decision. Super difficult for me because this was supposed to be my 10th makeover, but I had to decide if I wanted to pull out or not and be able to home her privately, make sure she got a home where it was someone I knew, someone that I background that I thought was going to be a really good fit for her, or if I wanted to try to compete and just let any person bid on her and win her. I made the really difficult decision of pulling her from the Extreme Mustang Makeover. I did that mid-July, so probably around July 8th, 9th, 10th, around there somewhere. I figured it was in best interest of Kiwi's future for me to adopt her privately and not put that stress of me being anxious about who she would be going to after the makeover, who would be winning her bid, all of that. It was better for me just to pull her and not compete. Unfortunately, we did pull from the makeover, but I think it was the right decision to do. Aside from me being really upset and thinking that maybe some people may think less of me or trainers may think less of me, but I didn't want to put Kiwi at risk of ending up in a bad scenario, and I didn't want her to put her in the stress of that environment because I don't think she'd do well there either. Like I said, she's a really good horse, but I don't think she was a Mustang Makeover horse, and sometimes they just aren't. So on top of the fact that I don't think she is one because of her brain and her anxieties, now she has this cataract issue, so I want to be super cautious about everything. After pulling her from the Mustang Makeover, she was placed into the TIP program, which is the trainer and sedative program. So we pulled into the TIP program, which meant that I got to find her an adopter. So that's where I kind of shared everything along the way in her relaxation group that I started a while back that you guys heard about. Started sharing everything in there, saying, okay, we ended up pulling from the makeover. I'm just like very lightly looking for an adopter for her, and something really cool happened. Someone that was in the group who had been following all of her progress reached out to me, and they were really interested knowing all of her background, and they had a really great plan of what they think they may want to do with her. So in that group, I've been posting her liberty, her obstacles, her desensitization, of course a bunch of relaxation techniques, and showing how that has helped her. And it's been good because everyone in there has been able to see those techniques, but also it's good that someone that potentially wanted Kiwi was in there and seeing everything along the way, everything I was doing to help her. So this person and I talked for a very long time. After I posted my June update video, I did have a couple people from YouTube email me, probably like 3 or 4, saying they were interested. I also didn't want her just to be a pasture pet or a companion for another horse in the paddock or anything, because I think she really enjoys doing her liberty work. She's really good at it, and I enjoy doing it with her, and I think it gives her something to do. She likes obstacles. It's really good to work on the desensitization with her. She's getting better with that every day. So I don't want her just to sit and not do anything. She is the best Mustang I've ever had for the farrier. She's really good for the vet. She was great for Cairo. She's got a lot of potential to be a really cool horse. The woman that contacted me in the relaxation group, before I even really publicly posted anything about thinking about pulling out of the makeover or trying to figure out my options, we'd been talking for a while, and she actually happened to do a clinic with me before. So I've met her. Now, of course, I've taught a lot of clinics, so I don't necessarily remember every single person, but I do remember her a little bit, and I do like that she's making an effort to better her communication with her horse. So when she reached out to me, she's like, hey, I'm not super worried about her wanting to ride right now. I want to do what the horse wants to do. She wants to eventually be able to teach clinics herself of how to read your horse, communicate better with your horse, and do different things on the ground to connect with them, I believe is what I remember from our earlier on messages, which Kiwi would be perfect for. She is a very easy horse to read. She's expressive, she tells you everything that's going on. She would be great for that. So that's something that she's kind of wanting to get into, and Kiwi would be a perfect horse for that. She is just thrilled and ecstatic, and she's liked this horse ever since I got her, before she knew there was anything up with her. So it seems like it's a really good situation for Kiwi, and I'm really excited to be part of it and kind of facilitate the adoption of Kiwi into her hopeful forever person. So that being said, Kiwi is adopted. She is now going to be in a really awesome, great home. I can't wait to post an update from there. So what does that mean for the rest of the time that I have Kiwi? Well, today is July 26th, a Monday, and on July 27th, tomorrow, Kiwi and I will be traveling cross country to bring her to her new owner in North Carolina, and I'm currently in California. So literally across the entire country to get her to her owner, coast to coast. We are about 30 minutes from the beach, and she is about 30 minutes from the beach in North Carolina. So quite a long drive. So we've got 4 days of driving. I have all of my stops along the route, and that starts tomorrow. So that means really today is like my last full day with her, aside from she'll be on the trailer with me and I'll be taking care of her the rest of those days. But we just finished filming some Liberty videos. I'll probably take a few more photos with her tomorrow before we load up and go. But Kiwi and my journey is pretty much done. We're gonna do a little more desensitization. I'm gonna just pretty much get her set up for her new owner, get ready to teach her new owner a bunch of stuff about her, because the cool thing is once I drop her off, I'll get to be there for a day and a half and kind of show her everything Kiwi knows, what she's working on, what she needs help with, where her strengths are and her weaknesses. And yeah, it'll be a good day and a half of getting Kiwi settled in with a new owner and making sure Kiwi knows everything's okay and that this person is going to be her forever mom, and it's going to be a really good situation for her. So that means there is only going to be, aside from this video, 1 or 2 more videos of Kiwi, unless I do an update video somewhere down the line. But yeah, that means there's only going to be 1 or 2 more videos of her. So I'm going to film a road trip video, bring her all the way across. That should be a pretty more fun video. And then I'll possibly do a journey video for her. Although I started really bummed and frustrated that we didn't make it to the makeover. Now I'm only a little bit upset, and I'm really happy that I found this situation for Kiwi and that she's doing so much better, and She likes life a lot more now. She's a lot more relaxed in her skin. I do apologize for a lack of training posts with this one right here, but after everything happened, I made that relaxation group so I could upload short little clips with my phone that weren't the best quality, but they were informational. But I didn't feel confident in myself, and I was really upset just with the backtracking that unfortunately I didn't film too many more training videos past what you guys have seen. But just know that I've had a really good time with this mare. We've had a lot of journey and experience together. She has made me a much better horse person. Now I know a lot about relaxation techniques, which is pretty cool. I really appreciate her for what she is. I love that she is the Mustang that I have brought furthest along in Liberty in the shortest amount of time. So Lynx is a fantastic Liberty horse. He's great. But this one is like not even 3 months out of the wild, and she is killing it. She is amazing. So I'll show you guys some clips there. Hopefully I can get some video tomorrow of that. I just wanted to say thank you for following Kiwi and I on this journey together. Thank you, most of you, for believing in us, and not the outcome I wanted, but the outcome that we both needed. And I'm glad I was able to slow down, really listen to my horse, and get the best scenario for her, all competitions aside. So I'm really happy, really excited about her new home, and I will be sure to post updates of the road trip when I get her there, how she's settling in, and then maybe we'll do a journey video, we'll see. That is Kiwi's July update. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a really good rest of your day. You want to smile to everyone? Oh, how nice and pretty. Good girl. Alright, thank you guys. You gonna miss her? Yeah. She's kind of a sweet soul. She is.